You mean the Doomed Dio documentary DVD that was damned?
Yes. That
Dublin.
It was dubbed in Dublin.
Indubitably.
Anyway, yes,
This is the worst episode. It's comedy.
It's probably the weed. Like this left eye is going bad. No, it's probably all the junk food going real bad lately. So
Yeah?
the sugar spike has maybe kicked in the diabetes. I don't know.
Like right now, just
It just
now.
kicked in.
The diabetes just kicked in.
I had trouble driving on the way here.
And that's your excuse for not being able to hold your mic closer to your dumb face.
Right. I'll just hold it with my hand the whole time. Like,
I like holding it.
hey, Mario.
Stop mocking me.
Are you ready to rock?
He's mocking me because I like holding the mic.
Oh, we really started.
Yeah, we really started. Gotcha, bitch. So, hey, everybody, welcome to the Comedy is Metal is Comedy is Metal is Comedy is Metal is Comedy podcast. Appreciate anyone who's actually out there listening on the YouTubes. It looked like we
Shout
had
out
like
to
50
any and all
something,
fans we have. That'd be awesome.
50-something views. Now,
No emails yet.
No, I do get the analytics, and like I'm very aware that like a lot of our views are like the first 2 minutes, and then they click it off.
Oh, are you checking the analytics?
Yeah, YouTube like tells you like So
we always have a good, strong first 2 minutes. I feel.
Well,
those are my favorite. Every time I listen myself, I listen to the first two and then zonk out. So
yeah,
maybe it's just me.
I think this will be the first episode with a pretty weak first 2 minutes. But
yeah, it's been crap so far.
But I would say actually, in like just a early episode housekeeping, whatever. If anyone's out there
Housekeeping
who has enjoyed our show at all, please feel free to comment or email us at bradmariopod@gmail.com. Because we'd like to know what you like, what you don't like, what's just okay. What do you want to see more of? What do you want to see less of? And so,
things you want to hear more or hear less too.
Yeah, see or hear.
Anything you want to feel, smell, touch. We got it all, all senses.
If there's things
are
you want to
covered.
feel more of, this might not be the right podcast for that.
Can you feel?
But I do want to give a shout out to our one loyal fan, which is Miles Neff. I know he was listening to like one of the last episodes because he commented on something that we had said like near the end of the episode.
Whoa.
Yeah. And to be fair, it was something we'd said about him, remember? Like we were saying that like, you know, our buddy Miles is doing awesome in the local comedy scene. He was inspiration for both of us. Yeah. So he commented on one of the last episodes, like, grab onto those coattails, let's go.
Oh yeah. How's he doing so right now in the comedy scene? Have you seen him recently?
He's doing great. A little stingy with the coattails. I've been trying to grab him, but you know, I'm kidding.
Very slippery coattails.
No, he's doing great. I've seen him at and him and a bunch of others at the Gimmick on Mondays. I've gone a couple times, and I know he continues to be featured on shows. And I think he was on. I didn't go to this. I think I want to know how to get on these. There are roast battles that they do like locally.
Ooh, and are you think you ready for a roast battle, Mario?
Well, I know I could take it. I don't know
don't know if you can give it.
Right, yeah.
That's kind of explains my sex life.
Yeah, again,
wait.
That would be me in prison. I know I can take it. I don't know if I can give it. Like, yeah, I mean, like, I know I could like take a joke. I don't know if I would be funny or just mean. Because, like, you know, like, that's the thing about roasting that I can tell anyway, is that, like, you want to be funny and you want to be mean, but if it's just mean, not funny, then you're a dick. Right. So I think it'd be an interesting challenge, you know?
Yeah, I feel like I have a good sense of humor and I could take insults, but somebody would hit the right chord and I would just start crying and run off stage. And then my comedy career is over. That's so, you know, you really have to you have to prepare yourself. Steel yourself.
Fortunately, it's just a local roast battle and no one cares. So if you lose it, your comedy career is only over if you decide it is.
Right, but then
you're not on TV,
yeah.
Yeah, no, I've had some fun going out though to local shit, and I had some ideas for jokes, and actually, so you were just telling me, and we don't have to get into the joke if you don't want to, but you have a joke that's kind of based on a friend, and the question is, do we sacrifice the friendship for a potential joke that we might tell at an open mic somewhere that like 4 people will hear?
Well, here's the reason I don't want to say that particular joke is because it's not even fleshed out yet. It's not even worked out to know if it's a good joke. So am I going to tell you this idea I had for a joke before it's even worked out and possibly alienate this friend of ours? Not named Miles Neff, by the way. It's not about you, Miles.
Well, that's where he's going to stop
You
listening.
can skip ahead this part. But, seriously, I just don't think it's that good yet. Or, I mean, it's just an idea. But, I mean, I have other ideas. Let me find another idea. You said you had a joke, though.
Well, yeah, I have a couple ideas that came to me. Yeah, well, your joke roundabout was about pets, and I just had this is more of a thought, and I don't know, like, if it's like I don't know, I thought of this today, and whatever, I'll share it. I'd be like, because I have some jokes where I talk a little bit about being in a relationship, and like I've mentioned on this before, like I'm kind of over just like when comics just talk about like, well, I'm married and she won't let me, so she won't let me drink beer with dinner or whatever, like, and I find like kind of hacky, and all like, so I've thrown in some jokes about like, being engaged and like both of us having to deal with our families while we're engaged and whatnot, but it's like I don't have anything to complain about with my chick. Like, she's actually cool. And then I just had the thought, like, is saying my chick is cool kind of like being one of those people who says like, my cat's really more like a dog. Like, those fucking people, you're like, okay, I get it, your cat played fetch once.
My cats are my children. Like, you won't believe what they can do.
Like, yeah, like,
no,
but especially cat, like, because I'm a cat person, and I'm the first person to be like, no, my cat's not like other cats. My cat actually is fun. She actually has a personality. She'll play.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the cats. I can't stand cats.
Yeah,
it's just the problem. With
and you can't stand girlfriends, right? So same concept, right? Like,
cats,
if you're saying my chick is, if you're saying, oh, my chick's like, okay, that was the my chick's like one of the guys. Is that like saying my cat's really more like a dog?
Well, okay, let's say this: if you came to hang out,
not that women are like cats,
or
dogs,
a friend comes over to hang out, they bring their
yeah.
girlfriend. Okay, I'm not going to understand her. Like, if they brought a cat, I wouldn't understand the cat. I'm like, I'll just let you sit over there. You can come to me if you want. I'll pet you or whatever. Like, but with a dog, let's say your friend came over with his dog, it's more like a dog is almost like a little kid, where they're just going to jump around and jump over you, and they're crazy for a little while. You can stand them in short bursts.
Okay,
they're fun in short bursts as long as you're not responsible. But if you're responsible for them, they're not as much fun.
That's true if you're friends. Have you ever met a friend's friend? They're fun in short bursts. Dude, that's exactly true.
About friends
literally, like, you're talking about dogs right now, and that's the same with if your friend brings around a dude. Right? Yeah. Like, if your buddy brings around a dude, like, you're like, okay, you're cool in short bursts. You kind of made me laugh a bit. And then, like, the minute they start talking about, like, politics or something, you're like, okay, dude, you need to take him back. And I had another, this kind of goes into, I had another joke.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but that sounds like a friend brought a friend with them.
Yeah.
Like, I went to a friend's house with a friend who brought their friend. So a friend of a friend going to see me and my friend at my friend's house. Lots of friends involved, right?
Well, I mean,
it's almost like if they brought their dog.
At that point, I'm going home. That's too many people.
Because at some point, your dog is going to drink a bunch of alcohol and piss all over the bathroom.
Yeah, and then like start...
Or metaphorically pissing on the bathroom, talking about
right, yeah.
BLM.
Like, I mean, because like, okay, so you
Trump,
met someone, I'm not going to say who it is, but it rhymes with Schmill, Mike Brady's friend. And,
Schmilly.
And you guys got along great because we were out in Ybor drinking.
Yeah.
And he's exactly like a friend's dog. And that, like, you're like, oh, cool. New puppy. Yay. Yeah. But I guarantee you, when you're around this particular guy for like too long, he starts to suck fuck.
It's like, just get in your cage, buddy.
Yeah. And that's when you're like, dude, okay.
We're eating dinner. It's time to get in your cage.
It was cool you brought your dog to that one party, but like you don't have to bring him to every fucking party, you know? And that's that guy. So like, okay, and then conversely, cats are like girlfriends so like dogs are like your bros, and then like cats are like girlfriends.
It is like that.
And then like, it's because, you know, you bring your chick around and people are like, why'd you fucking do that? Either way, the joke could go into what you were saying before. You're like, why is it on a leash? I guess I'll pet it. Like that same stuff you were saying before.
Way, if you show
I guess I'll pet her. Does she purr? Like,
if you show up to a party with a cat or a dog, people are like, what is this guy doing? Like,
right. Yeah.
Because I feel like, I don't know if cat people really do that if they bring a cat to a party. That's just like, those kind of people would just end up staying home from the party with their cats anyway. But
yes,
a dog person,
person.
I've noticed dog people, and this doesn't disparage the dog people that I know and love, like my sister and her dog, who are great. She doesn't do this, but I've seen some people who do this where they bring their dog to the bar and the soccer game, and every fucking where they go.
I feel like I shouldn't even like fucking like disparage those folks, because every fucking person I know does that.
I'm not talking about the little purse dogs either. Like those,
I'm talking about the purse dogs.
Those don't really bother me. It's the big,
they stay out of the way.
Great Danes and the hounds, where it's like, oh my, this is a dog girl. Me and my dog, me and Pooch over here. We're just gonna go get our eggs. We're gonna sit outside, and I'm gonna read my book with my dog. And it's like,
okay, I'm just going to throw in a caveat. I'm just going to throw in a caveat.
You're better than me?
I have one friend who brings
I don't know where I was
his
going
or her dog everywhere, and that particular dog is great. I'm just going to throw that out there so that every single person I know who might be listening to this will think it's their dog who's great.
Oh yeah. The dogs I know are great.
You listener, your dog is wonderful, and I want to see that dog at every party.
It's like
but everyone else can fuck off with their fucking dogs.
People suck except my friends and family.
Right? Yeah.
I'd nuke the world except I'd save my friends and family.
Oh, I would. I mean, well, that's nice. I would not save my friends and family. I'd save you, Brad.
Really?
I'd save you because you're here talking to me right now. If you weren't, then I wouldn't.
But if there's a nuclear holocaust, it's you and me. In the bunker,
you and me versus the world
with the mics, getting the podcast going. We'll start a radio show.
I mean, for all we know, by the time this is out there, that's what has happened. This is the last podcast on Earth.
Yeah, Biden, and Hunter's laptop, and
all the rest of that.
Things are popping off.
Yeah, there's something going on in Bolivia. Oh, that's mean.
Well, so anyway, we were talking about the local comedy scene, and we got into the difference between cats and dogs. So let's go back to the comedy scene. And I wanted to mention that
it's raining cats and dogs.
That new strip club comedy show. I was interested.
Did you go?
I didn't go. But I want to go.
My excuse is it's Wednesday nights and I work late on Wednesdays. But it sounds intimidating, dude. Like
it'd be very interesting. I noticed. I looked at the list. I saw Joshua Santos, our buddy Josh.
Yeah,
the host of the
Cafe Hey. Yeah,
was on. So I wonder. That's the only one I really wondered about. I was like, wonder what his set was like up there.
Did he just awkwardly comment on the boobs?
Low energy, just like.
Well, and like, is it like
chicks, man?
Because if you remember, like years ago, the comedian Ari Shaffir had that show on Comedy Central. This is not happening, and it was like comedians telling stories, but it was at strip clubs. Like they were on the stage of strip clubs, and the crowd was just there in the audience. I don't know if it was just one club that they used or if it was like multiple ones, but like in that case, the strippers weren't there,
right?
So I'm wondering, is like this one that they're hosting in Tampa. Like, are they dancing during your set? Like, how does that work?
Do you think they like closed down the strip club?
I think the strippers were probably like, "Fuck this, I'm going home."
No, they got comp free tickets, so they're like sitting in the audience. They're like, okay, if you guys stay out there and laugh, we'll give you a beer, and then these comedians, they'll hang out afterwards. That's the trick. That's what I'm
comedians are all sad, lonely guys.
It's like the sets are going to end at midnight, and they're like, okay, well now what do you want to do? You want to go back to the room and have a dance? It's like, oh god damn it. Okay.
Well, I'm already here.
I got paid $20 to go on stage tonight. What am I going to do with that $20? I'm going to dance.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't really. Again, my excuse is I work late on Wednesdays. But you should go, dude. You should go.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Interesting to check out and see what it's all about. The host guy, what's his name?
I don't know.
John Jacobs.
Oh yeah. He's part of the Tampa News Force with
Right.
Josh Santos. Yeah.
I think I saw something that say he was on MTV. He was on some MTV show.
Well, I know that he was on. Like, he always talks in his act about like he was on some dating show at some point. I don't know if he's been in other shit, but I think he was on like an MTV dating show. Which like that's comedy gold. Like, if you're a comedian, if you can get on like a reality show, even if you don't like get shown on TV, just that experience is probably like great, material.
Do you think what's his name was like Tyler Vaughn or Taylor, the dude that from Real World that's a comedian now?
I don't know. Not that I would.
Oh, Theo Vaughn.
Oh, Theo Vaughn. He was on a reality show.
He was on Real World, man.
I know Theo Vaughn is. I've seen his stand up.
Or was he?
He might have been. Now that's ringing a bit of a bell.
Oh man, I hate this.
Well, the audience can write comments.
See, when I was younger, I used to be right about most things. You know, when you throw out some like, he was on Real World. I know it. That's what I remember. And like,
were you right about most things?
Yeah. Oh man, I was.
I think when I was younger, I was confident about being right about most things, and now I'm older and I just don't believe I know anything.
Maybe when I was younger, I didn't have something I could disprove my answer in 5 seconds.
Right? Yeah. The old cell phone. So I thought this was funny. Go on.
Road rules.
I'd never heard of it. So I thought this was fun. The last time we hung out, we went out to Ybor, right? We went out, like, again, we're old, we're in our 30s. And man, I do not go. Like, I'm going to see Colin Terrell later tonight, and even that, like, I'm going.
Should you admit that it was a rap show?
Yeah. What's
neither comedy nor metal was this show, so it's not really pertinent. But
yeah, it's a rap show by our friend pertinent. Achilles, who
shout out Achilles.
He's in like
Jaguar.
Yeah.
Check out the rapper Jaguar. JAGWAR.
Used to be called Achilles the Conqueror, and he's in like a million bands. He whatever. Like, he's one of those guys.
He's a prolific songwriter.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who, like, I don't know where he gets the time, and I think he probably just doesn't sleep. But he'll put out like a black metal album, and then a groove metal album, and
symphonic orchestra,
symphonic shit, and then rap,
album.
and then like something like Native American influenced. Like, he's just constantly churning out material.
I think he wrote the jingle for that new show. Some new show, I don't know.
That fell flat.
What would be a funny jingle for him to write?
J.G. Wentworth.
He wrote the jingle for J.G. Wentworth.
I have this new annuity.
He won the Morgan and Morgan jingle contest. Actually, he did submit something for the Morgan and Morgan.
Really?
Morgan and Morgan jingle contest. Yeah, I remember.
It was pretty hilarious.
It was good.
Was it black metal?
I think it was a rap song. It was like a rap. Yeah.
What was I going? Oh yeah, so we went out, and I thought this was kind of a funny thing. Like, on the car ride there, we were both talking about how, like, I don't really drink so much anymore. I didn't really do anything for me. I don't really like, I mean, I might have one drink.
Totally like a Seinfeld, like, drinking is dumb. Yeah, drinking.
Yeah,
who likes to drink?
Who needs a drink?
Drinking's for idiots.
And then, like,
first bar we get to,
I got like a whiskey soda. You got a beer. The next bar we're getting shots.
Yeah.
And like, I calmed down. Like, by the end of the night, I wasn't even drunk anymore. But like, so I would say I lived up to my goal of like not really drinking too much, because compared to the past, that night was nothing. But I probably had like 6 drinks throughout the night. But like, I just thought it was funny that like right away we both were like, shots. And then we went to that one liquor bar, and they're like, we don't have mixed drinks. We're like, I guess we're doing shots then. We could have just left, but we did the shots.
It's like some distillery where they're just like, you can get a shot of moonshine or a shot of whiskey.
Like, okay,
if those are the only 2 options, I guess I have to.
Well, I'm trying to save money, so give me the drink that has the highest alcohol content. Then
can I go half whiskey, half moonshine? Make it a Moonsky.
That's what's on special. Okay, well, if it's on special, I guess I'll get 2. Yeah.
Did you hear that though?
A Moonsky?
Moonsky.
Yeah,
I just thought of that. That's pretty good. Half moonshine, half whiskey.
Patent it.
The Brad Jones Moonsky.
This podcast brought to you by Moonskys.
All you need's a spoonski.
Because
it'll fuck you up.
So Anyway, I thought that was funny. And then, yeah, you met a friend of a friend who you got along with, even though I guarantee you he's the worst.
Oh, you hush, Mario. You're too mean.
But that'll be now I'm looking forward to. You ever like kind of like play out like a movie in your head, like, oh well, I've seen part 1 of this now. So now I'm looking forward to you seeing this guy more and getting to realize that he sucks over time.
Okay.
Because that's the progression that like everyone, that's the progression I had.
Oh, you're just like, it's going to happen eventually.
Yeah. The progression I had was like, oh, this guy's not so bad. Oh, okay, that was a little weird. All right, why do you do that? All right, and then eventually just like, fuck, he's here. And I look forward to seeing other people have that progression.
I can't wait to get there, Mario. I feel like it's like a challenge of my patience. Like you're like, oh, you'll lose patience eventually. Like, I don't know. I can tolerate a lot of shit. I can put up with. Now that you want to.
Oh shit! Now that it's a challenge, you're gonna become best friends. He's gonna be in your wedding.
I'll bring him over next podcast.
Yeah, just to be like, see, Mario. Well, that's all I wanted, Brett. I just wanted to make friends for you. So this is the way to do it.
No, but the for real though, that show was awesome. We saw a lot of good friends.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, it was like being in our 20s again, man. Like,
yeah, it did feel that way.
It was this weird, like, we were out walking around Ybor, and then we ran into some other people we knew.
Yeah, it was almost like a, like an RPG when you start the game out, and you're going to the forest, and like, hey, Jason. Oh, Jason approaches. Oh, okay. Hey, you want to join our party? Sure, we're walking this way. All right, come on, let's go. And start marching down the street, and then
we were marching to New York pizza.
Barta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, now you join.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like old times when we used to run that shit.
Yeah, and our motorcycle gang.
We never ran anything, but like, it used to feel. I don't know. I felt young that night, and then the next day I didn't wake up till like 2 p.m.
Oh yeah, the hangover was rough.
Well, I didn't have a hangover. I didn't have a hangover.
No hangover, eh?
Well, I stopped drinking early in the night and I just started drinking soda.
Yeah, you paced it out.
Yeah.
Really well.
But that's the thing. You don't have to be hungover at this age. You can just be, well, I got to bed at 1 a.m., so now the next day is done.
Oh, yeah. If you stay up past midnight, you're
it's like being hungover, even if you're not, I don't know why I can't say hangover right. Hangover.
Hey, come on, hang over.
Any other jokes that are on your mind?
No. I mean, there was one kind of about my dad, or like any old guy watching football. Because it's the playoffs here. The Bucks lost recently.
Yeah,
sadly,
I saw
Tom Brady might retire again, or we don't know the status. If he's ever going to come back.
Is he going to do a Favre where like he just keeps saying he's going to retire and then keeps not?
Like, keeps trying to win.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sadder and sadder.
But I like the whole because it happens to me too. When you're watching the game, you like. The more you get into it, the more your dad gets into it, the more he starts like yelling, and then yelling turns to barking, and then the next thing you know, he's just going, like just like an incomprehensible beast screaming. Maybe I'll try to do that.
Yeah, I've noticed
he runs in the 40.
I've noticed that like sports jokes don't seem to be landing the way they used to, and I don't make them because I'm not good at sports jokes, but like. I've seen some comics do sports jokes. Even Shane Gillis, when we saw him live, he had a sports joke, and and he was just like, "Oh no, you don't like that? All right, I'll go back to politics." And he just went back to making fun of Trump, and it like killed.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, think about George Carlin's sports thing where he talked about football versus baseball. Right? Like, remember that one?
Yeah. Was that like 80s
like the football is like you were on a gridiron and you send missiles and troops and you attack. And baseball, you take a run in a park.
Yeah. Like football, you're in a yard.
Yeah.
Baseball, you're in a park.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like 80s Carlin when he was going way too deep into like the word association stuff.
Right.
But that
right
was
before he got super political.
Yeah. That was a classic bit though. Sure.
Classic bit. Yeah.
Classic bit.
This is the classic bit segment.
Something old, something new.
Speaking of classics, dude, I've been listening to a lot of classic hard rock and heavy metal and shit like that, dude.
Oh, yeah?
Fucking dude, like, do you ever like go back into I know you were into heavier stuff than me, so I don't know if you would do this quite as much. Like, I like Merciful Fate probably counts as this, but like, do you ever go back into like the proto-metal shit, like Deep Purple, not like the whole Sabbath catalog, not just the popular Sabbath songs, but like, like
every now and then I get a wild urge to kind of just read about stuff, or like you look into who influenced who, and like because I remember at one point reading like, man, somewhere somebody said like the keyboardist of Deep Purple was the best ever or something.
Oh yeah, dude, he ruled.
And he was great. And I researched him and listened to their stuff more. I'm like, man, Deep Purple was really good. They're more than just Smoke on the Water. And so when you really get into them, you can see how some people could really get into them nowadays and be a fan now. But that was a short phase. It's more like phases. It comes and goes.
I just listened to the Black Sabbath album that Ian Gillan was on. Ian Gillan was like the singer of Deep Purple when they were like their coolest. And he was on a Sabbath album in the 80s called Born Again that like had really terrible reviews. Like it's known as one of the worst Sabbath albums out there. But like I just listened to it earlier today. Not terrible. It's kind of weird, but like not bad. But yeah, dude, I've been listening to fucking Rainbow though, dude. Like, the first
Rainbow.
3 Rainbow albums that had Dio.
Like a rainbow in the dark.
That's actually
ironically not a rainbow.
Not
song.
a Rainbow song. I think that was from Dio's first.
You think Dio was like I'm like in the dark without my band Rainbow.
I'm in the dark.
I'm in the dark without Rainbow. I'm a rainbow in the dark. I'm a rainbow in the dark.
So apparently I just watched the Dio documentary on one of those channels.
Did you watch it on DVD, the Dio documentary DVD?
You mean the Doomed Dio documentary DVD that was damned?
Yes.
Dublin.
It was dubbed in Dublin.
Indubitably.
Anyway, yes,
this is the worst episode yet.
Scrap it. We're starting over. Welcome to the Comedy is Metal podcast. Dio documentary.
Yeah, it's called Dreamers Never Die. Anyway, they talked about that song Rainbow in the Dark. Apparently, Dio fucking hated it. And he was like, scrap that fucking shit. It's not going on the album. And his new band at the time was just like, no, can we please have it on the album? And then he was like, sure. And then later on, he was like, I'm so glad I listened to them. But you ever get like that? Like when you're writing a song, like maybe like you're in the writing phase or the recording phase, and you hear it over and over and over again, and you start to go, this song fucking sucks. And then like you hear it later on, and you're like, that was actually pretty good.
Well, I don't know that I don't have as much experience in the finished song product. I haven't really finished any songs recently.
Yeah, but you have 3 albums worth of stuff.
But starting out stuff is like, that's the problem. As I'm saying, I get to the point where I start a song and get halfway through writing it. I'm like, this is pretty good. And then after listening to it that much, I'm like, okay, I got to start a new one. This is just not.
Yeah.
I get too impatient with my stuff and just say, scrap it, start over. Like I said before, scrap it, start over. I like to do that a lot. And sometimes I do it too quickly.
Here's what I do. I don't scrap it, but I'll save it, and I'll save it like on this computer. And in this computer, I have like so many fucking like files that are just like heavy idea, like 7-string riff.
Yeah.
And then like 7-string riff 2, 7-string riff 40, like
that clarifies it.
yeah, I know. And then like I try to clarify it. I'll be like noodly 7-string riff with key change.
You should like name them like sing it and like dun 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 dun, and then spell that like DUN space DUN space DU. So try to make it look like you could read it phonetically. Maybe that might work. I don't know.
I think I've probably tried that, and I'll try to be like, well, what band does this kind of sound like? I have one on here that it's like Children of Bodom-esque riff without the harmony. Like essentially it's like Children of Bodom except for slower, without the harmonies, without the keyboards, and without like the solos. So it's like Nothing. So I'm like, what
On
fucking riff is
weed.
that?
Like, and then you have to add like what you ate that morning, like after eating toast.
I have named files while really drunk, or like, but even that doesn't fucking like
This is the return the glove riff. You'll know what it means.
Occasionally, I'll
Because
actually.
when I play this and I go, I return the glove, return the glove.
Yeah, that would help. Occasionally, I'll have a lyrical idea, but then
that's what works for me. Is I like make strange associations with riffs and like use weird phrases like that. And I'm like, because like I'll play something to hear a certain word or something, and like that's the googly schmoogly
But like
riff,
a month later, do you know what that means?
That's the tough thing. Is it has to be practiced at least like 2 or 3 times in a 1 to 2 week setting. So if I play it and then wait 2 weeks, it's gone.
Yeah.
If I play it and wait a day or 3 or 4 days, I might be able to remember it. If I do that 3 or 4 times, it's locked in.
Yeah.
So the really good riffs, I will just, if I practice it a lot, it'll stay in forever.
I would say I'm like that too. Like if I actually get to the point where something's like close to done, then like I'll definitely remember it. But it's almost like writing covers or like recording cover songs is easier because it has a fucking name already. Like,
oh yeah.
How do you? I guess similarly, how do you write down your jokes? Because I just have like
it's split between phone and notebook. I have a notebook at home.
Like actually, oh, that's right. You have actual written notebook.
When I wake up or have a dream or something, or I'm just walking around the house and think of something funny, I'll write something down. And those are kind of hard to, because like I get in a certain mood, and I'm like, this is funny right now, this angry mood I'm in, or this is funny in this fucking sad mood I'm feeling. But like when I look back on it, I'm like, okay, that I remember why that's funny, but you really kind of have to get in that mode.
I've been writing
to make
stuff
a lot
down,
of my stuff work.
Yeah. I write stuff down after conversations, and it's just not as funny afterwards. Like, I had this, like, okay, I was talking to a friend who works at a freestanding ER, and he was saying that, like, there's so many people coming in nowadays with stuff up their butts. And actually, weirdly enough, like, so I was watching Andrew Santino's Netflix special, and he has a whole bit about this, right? But then I thought, like, something that he doesn't go into quite as much in that is, like, it's always guys. Like, it's always guys coming into ERs with stuff up their butts. Like, you don't really get women coming in. And it's old guys, young guys, whatever, but like...
Well, they already have something to put something up there with. Like, they already have a pocket for that.
But they don't get stuff stuck in there.
If you got a front pocket, you don't need a back pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, so there's I was like, this is a funny fact. It's a funny fact that, like, dudes of all ages are coming in with stuff up their butts and on record numbers. Yeah. Again, like, I'm not even the first person to talk. Like Santino has it in his, like, Netflix special. He's talking about that. Like, but yeah, like it's just a thing that's happening. My friend's take on that was like, just, younger, like, guys in their 20s are like more progressive these days. So they're like more like willing to like let their partner, girl or guy, shove something up there. Or like that they're more willing to go to the ER for it because they're more like less ashamed. Like, so there's like
no, thanks Obamacare. Like, because of liberal policies, we now have people not afraid to go to the ER to get things out of their butt because they can afford it.
That is great. Yeah, I thought the fun angle would be like, either people are becoming more like, like open-minded in the bedroom, open-minded and open-butted in the bedroom, or the same.
I kind of like that one, open-minded or open-butted rather.
It's so dumb.
I like it because it's so dumb.
Yeah, I do like that. Or like it's the same amount throughout history, and they're just more willing to admit it. Or like you said, because they can actually afford it now.
It's because Obama made you can stay on your parents' insurance till you're 27.
When you get that all out of your system.
So now you're living at home, nothing to do, you're just putting stuff up your ass all day.
Yeah. And after that, you either are not into that anymore, or you have it down, like, what you're doing. Like, it's not going to get lost after a certain point. Because you got to be unexperienced to do that, I would imagine.
Right. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get something stuck up in there. So, they go to community college first. It's right down the road. What are you doing? $35 an hour per credit hour. Only 69 credit hours per 3-credit course. It's pretty simple.
So you're getting into like a Doug Stanhope kind of like I'm just going to go into economics for a while now for no reason.
Well, he's funny because he can like just go. He could talk about economics for like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
but just his attitude about stuff and the way he thinks about things, that's just what people like about him.
Well, because while he's doing it, he's talking about crack and hookers. So
that too, I guess.
And it's just and then he'll like kind of qualify it with like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. That was the hooker talking.
I think that's a comedy style is anger. It's just being mad on stage.
Yeah.
Like, just go up there and just be fucking pissed off, and then because a lot of times people are just funny when they're mad, you know?
Well, right. You get like the classic angry comedian. Carlin was kind of that later in life. You get like your Jack Black, not Lewis Black. Not Jack Black. Lewis Black.
Both funny when they're mad.
Yeah, true.
But have you ever seen Jack Black mad?
He plays a character occasionally.
But, I mean, have you?
A little
seriously, think about it. What character have you seen him like legit mad?
Like Jack Black's character will always be like, he'll be mad, but he'll be mad about something stupid, like, what? You don't know who was on the second Def Leppard album or whatever?
Right, that's
like,
what I'm saying. I'm
mad
taking
about
my
something.
keychain back. Like, he's never gonna be like,
you think Ozzy was the
Mr.
best singer of
Colvin.
Black Sabbath? Fuck you. Like, you know, that's the Jack Black anger.
Or that's get away from my wife. I'm Jack Black, CIA agent.
Is that a different Jack Black?
No one takes my family away from me. Like Bob Odenkirk in that Nobody movie. Did you ever see that one?
Never saw that.
Oh man, it's badass.
I heard that he actually is badass.
Yes, like the fight scenes in it are. It reminded me of the like the Bourne Identity or whatever. Remember those Bourne movies? Like the first Bourne movie that came out. The fight scenes were so cool that it was like, oh man,
yeah.
I'm not a big action movie guy, so for me to be stoked about a fight scene is like really telling. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I get that because I also fucking like,
just you can skip the whole movie. Just Google the fight scene from Nobody on YouTube.
Huh?
With Bob Odenkirk, it's
really
awesome.
I am planning on watching.
One of the best fight scenes ever, in my opinion.
I mean,
except for Rocky IV.
Well, and was it Eastern Promises where it's a Viggo Mortensen fights a dude naked in a sauna?
Okay, scratch the list again. Viggo Mortensen, number one. Rocky IV, then Nobody with Bob Odenkirk. Bah.
Okay, I will check it out. What was I going to say? Oh, dude, actually, speaking of fucking horrible action movies, I saw Jurassic World Dominion last night on streaming somewhere. It's terrible, but like...
Yeah, I saw that in theaters.
You saw Dominion, the most recent one? Yeah. Like, for some reason...
I have to preface this with my little cousin wanted to see it.
Well, that's fine.
So I had to go, and it was fun. Love hanging with my cousin. Shout out Trey.
For some reason they made the middle of it like a James Bond movie for no goddamn reason. And then like Chris Pratt, like he just has this power to just like talk to dinosaurs by sticking his hand out.
Yeah, well that was established in the previous Jurassic Park movie.
I thought that was supposed to be like those were raptors he was working with.
Right, but he clearly you thought that he trained them.
Oh, but did they really train
him?
Yeah,
just learn how to speak to
like
raptors.
A really good dog.
You know what's funny about dogs? So they're kind of not like cats, right?
I did write down. I'm looking at my thing. I did write down dog owners who say he's okay. Like I was just thinking about like if you're ever in public,
you're like, oh, he's okay.
Yeah, it's
just
like
let him finish.
Yeah, it's like who the fuck are you? Like, or if the dog is like just like snarling at like a kid, I've seen that happen.
Oh,
at like an outdoor market, and a dog is like, and the owner's like,
I just saw this video, a little one of these short reels or whatever, where the 15, 20 second, some little kid running with his dog and he's playing and all happy, and there's some other dog runs out.
Oh no,
like wanted to eat this kid.
Oh god,
and the protecting dog just like jumps over, knocks the kid down, and protects him, and turns like fierce. And you see
nice. I've seen a
This
video of that
wild look in
happening
his
with a
eye.
cat actually defending the kid.
Oh, wow. Really?
It
A
was
cat?
yeah, it's like a mom and a kid are walking in from like the grocery store, and a dog like runs from. It's like a security cam footage, and the dog runs from like down the road. There's attacks this kid, and the cat runs from inside the house
Whoa.
and attacks the dog, and it runs off. Yeah, because cats are better. But
See, that surprises me because
I mean, that's a 1 in a million.
cats are notoriously worse.
Most cats wouldn't give a fuck, but like that's
Exactly.
a 1 in a million because that cat's really more like a dog.
It's got a dog's soul in it.
My cat's really just more like a dog. Like I swear he fetches. Like he's not gonna do it right
Now,
now.
are veterinarians going to be doing trans species?
I don't know if we're allowed to talk about that. I don't think we're allowed to talk about
was
that.
born a dog on the inside.
Okay, that reminds me though.
I don't know. I want to act like I'm sorry. A disclaimer: trans people. I support trans.
Yeah, me too. And
but what if? What if you could change your species though?
Well,
I know that seems dumb.
Well, right,
but 10 years ago, changing your sex seemed dumb, right? Like people didn't think it was possible or something.
Right. Well, I think that's a funny conversation. And there's lots of jokes to be had. Here's the problem, and this is like almost a problem because like I'll go out to like open mics and some comics will have some pretty funny trans material. Like a trans joke is a joke that didn't used to be a joke, but then it turned into a joke. It got funnier over time. But no, they'll have some pretty good trans jokes, and it's almost like
you could make a good trans joke.
You could,
as a non-trans,
you could, and it's happened.
A cis male,
right? But it's like bad. Like shitty people have like ruined those jokes because like shitty people, will be like, oh, what do you identify as like a mocking thing or like,
right?
Like
you have to explore it.
I've seen someone wearing a shirt that said I identify as non-binary. It's like, dude, like. First of all,
my pronouns are Trump guns or whatever.
Yeah, well, I know I've seen my pronouns are Trump 1. Fucking.
Something ridiculous.
It's like, first of all, that's stupid on all kinds of levels. But second of all, it's not funny. And I'm not saying it's not funny because it's insulting. Like, it's not funny because it doesn't have the things that are required to make a thing funny.
I still try Let's Go Brandon every now and then. It never works. People just don't. They either don't. In my mind, I want to take the power back from it and be like, "Let's go, Brandon." I like Brandon. Let's go.
I was thinking like because there was something about like conservatives will be like, "Oh, I bet all these fucking people who voted for Biden are like, regretting it now," and I'm like, "Nope." Still not regretting it because he's still not as bad as the last guy. He sucks in so many ways. So the other thing is like people who voted for Biden don't like Biden.
Yeah, no.
I feel like that needs to be known. Like people who voted for Biden were like, well, okay, let's get the other guy out of there.
Again, I go back to the Super Bowl comparison, the presidencies, the Super Bowl. At this point, most people are not caring about who really wins because there's not their team like their local team. It's not their guy, but it's like their conference. They'll root for the Chiefs because the AFC my team's in the AFC.
Well, but the Trump people,
you know what I mean? Like
the Trump people have adopted him. The Trump people are like people who root for the Gators who never went to college. You know what I mean? I'm a Gator fan for life. Like, why? Why are you a Gator fan? They don't care about you. They haven't done anything for you. You know what I mean? Like it's they full on adopted him and. But anyway, this isn't a political podcast. My point was, I think it would be funny to actually be like a Biden guy, like to get a bunch of Biden bumper stickers, like a van decorated in Biden stuff.
And you're just like, man, I'm taking the week off to go to Delaware next week. Like, why? Like, that's where Biden's from, our president.
He's here. He's doing it for us, man. And then get pictures of him all muscled out. Like Biden's just protecting us from you.
Is he from Delaware?
I don't know.
He's got that Delaware.
He's from hell. I don't know.
Delaware stare. But okay, I want to transition
from
to the Super
Delaware.
Bowl. Let's say that it's like the Super Bowl. The Chiefs are going to beat the Bengals, which I think they will, and the Niners are going to beat the Eagles. So let's say Niners, Chiefs, right? At this point, the only people who really care are the Chiefs and Niners fans. But you have all these people gambling and betting or people are going to pick sides no matter what. So we have a 50-50 split, like Biden and Trump. most of the people behind Biden are just like, that's not even my team. I'm not even a fan.
Yeah, like
But I
it's
just don't want that.
opportunistic.
I just don't want
Yeah.
that team to win.
Oh, I've rooted against, like, I hate the
in
Miami
spite.
Dolphins.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember why. I think this was like because someone I knew in college liked the Dolphins and I hated that person. So, like, I just hate the Miami Dolphins. So I will always root against them. Same kind of concept.
How many years did you watch the Super Bowl and root against Tom Brady? Because I'm sick of the Patriots winning.
Right, that is true.
I thought that so
That's
many years.
absolutely true. And, then
now he's my
onto the
favorite
Bucs,
quarterback in the world because he came down to the Bucs and won the Super Bowl.
which is kind of like Trump fans. Like, you know, Trump was a
Exactly.
Democrat his whole life.
New
He was part
York
of the establishment.
Democrat.
Yeah, New York values. And then he starts saying one thing about immigrants and they're like, we love them.
Right.
Yeah.
The most unchristian person
Yeah.
I've ever
Which
seen.
is not an insult coming from me, but, you know.
became the Christian Party member.
My favorite thing about him-
evangelical right took him in, and he's like holding the Bible upside down. And, you know,
Maybe there's
he's
something
like, "Save
fun-
me, Jeebus."
My favorite thing about him is the idea that he got pissed on by a Russian hooker. He's one of us.
Okay, but he didn't.
Like-
No, that's the thing. That
Yeah, but I
really
wanted to
didn't
feel a
happen.
sense of similarity.
And now it's all fucked up because Biden left the document. And,
Oh,
now
they all have
the whole
documents.
thing. Everyone's got documents, and it's gonna be all
Also-
okay. Both sides penalties offset. Let's just move on with our lives.
Wow, yeah, that is a good football analogy.
I'm
penalties
good at
offset.
analogies, man. That's
You're
my thing.
analogous. You're analogious.
I'm an analogy.
So I did have a trans joke that I thought was funny because it actually is pro-trans, but I don't know how to make it funny as a joke. So we were sitting on the couch, me and Julia and Mike. We were sitting on the couch. We were talking about something, and for some reason the movie Juno came up, and like, I don't know, Mike or Julia, one of them was like saying that in the movie, like it was kind of obnoxious that like she, like, you know, just everything was funny, like something about how like in the movie like she was too funny for like that scenario. Like the movie itself was too quirky. Like and the whole point of the movie was
made by the same person who made Gilmore Girls or something.
I don't know.
Shit, like,
but the whole point of the movie was look how quirky we are. Serious situation, but we're quirky. And then I
most
said
people be upset in the situation, but I
So-
don't care because I'm quirky.
in mid conversation, I said, well, it kind of makes sense that she was so funny. She turned out to be a man. So of course she had a sense of humor.
Now that's misogynistic, Mario.
Yeah, no, but it's misogynistic, but it's pro-trans.
But it's
So if
pro-trans.
you don't laugh at that, then you're anti-trans, which I think is worse these days than being misogynistic, according to social faux pas. So, so, I don't know. There's got to be a way of
It's
just
like, I
turning
hate
that
women, but only ones that were born that way.
Yeah, I love women who were men first. No, but like, there's got to be a way of making that a joke, like something about. I was watching the movie Juno, and it bothered me that she was so funny, but it turned, I don't know. Like the problem with the movie Juno is it's not funny. There's nothing fucking. The movie's annoying, but like
No, you can't be like it's. You gotta. I think you have to sell it as like, you know, what movie was really funny. Surprisingly, Juno, right? Did you know that? And and then people, then you pause for laughter, applause break, standing ovation. Then you go on and you say, oh, well, yeah, no wonder she was so funny. Turns out she was a dude.
yeah, there's just got to be a way.
Something like, see,
there's gotta be a way of
that was
building to
terrible.
that. Like
I ruined it because I thought of a better joke during while
What's
I was
the better
saying
joke?
it, the Juno one.
Oh, that's not better.
Of course it is. I'd like to see Jude know better. Ah, shit. Okay, I'll admit my mom.
Okay, I get it. I have a Jew nose.
There's some movie with who's the guy? Drillbit Taylor. Remember that one?
Fucking the guy with the nose, the blonde hair.
Steve. No.
Buscemi.
Wow. No, it's the WoW guy.
Yeah, the guy who's got a brother.
Luke
Is his brother.
Yeah, Luke's his brother. So Luke's
He's-
brother is in.
I refuse to look this up. I'm going to just fumble through this.
Owen
I refuse
Wilson.
to- Owen Wilson. That's the wow.
But yeah, he goes like, I know judo, and like really, like, judo you don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I couldn't say it right. My mom loves that joke.
I bet she does.
She loves it. So this Juno joke goes out to you, Mom.
Yes. This goes out to Brad's mom, Mrs. Brad.
I'm Mrs. Brad's mom.
Have you seen the new that '90s show?
No.
Eh.
Any stand-up comedians in that?
Not that I recognize. Here's the thing about that. Since we're already in like dicey territory today, I'll just say that I got something to say. This is a stance that's going to sound bad at first, but work with me on this. So, and I was thinking about this when I was like thinking about. I was thinking about this like maybe being a joke material for like some of the new Marvel movies, but like absolutely 100% I support Hollywood giving the spotlight to non-white, non-straight, non-cis characters, right? We should feature gay folks, we should feature black people, feature women, whatever, whomever, whenever. We should feature people. When you do that, don't make their character so fucking detestable that that 90s show has a gay character. And I feel like he's one of the kids. It's like one of Eric Foreman's daughter's friends.
Okay.
And no one knows.
A gay dude.
He's a gay dude, yeah. And no one knows anyone who acts like this guy. I don't think he was written by a gay person. I don't think he was written by anyone who's ever met a gay person in their life. Like, I think he was written by like a white lady who was just like, this is what a gay kid is probably like.
Right.
Like, it almost is like a parody. Like, it's almost like the person, like, this is my fucking, what do you call it? Conspiracy brain goes, I bet a Christian conservative fucking snuck on to the writing staff and wrote the most insufferable gay person ever, who, again, doesn't act. He's not insufferable because he's gay. Again, he's insufferable because he sucks. And everything he says is annoying. And again,
it sounds like you don't like this character.
Yeah, I don't like this
gay character.
This fucking gay guy.
But the only thing you like about him is that he's gay, pretty much.
I like the idea of there being a gay character.
Yeah.
And they
should have made a cool gay character, not a lame one.
I mean, he could just, how about this? Have a gay character that seems like a gay person that you know in your life. Like, not like, because again, it's what it is like, have you ever seen someone do like a really bad gay impression? I'm not going to do one because it's kind of hacky. It's that. It's literally like your dad making a gay impression. Like, or at least my dad making a gay impression. like it's
right,
that.
Everybody listening to the
bad.
show right now, just pause. Think about your dad.
Think about him making the most homophobic gay impression ever.
Here's the mission. You have to act gay to get in this club. And it's like, okay, what do I do? It's like,
again, like
just,
if you
really get through it, you just like act normal, and you probably get through.
Yeah, because
and then they're like, wait a second, this is a gay club. Like, oh, I'm gay. Like, okay, you can go in, but they would probably go like, what the? And like do
it's hack to do that bad, but
and
like
the guy at the door is like, what are you doing?
Like again,
clearly
like the actor himself might actually be gay. I don't know, but like I don't know anything about the actor, but I know that, and I always with everything, even the new Jurassic Park movie, I'm always like, I'm more charitable towards the actors than the writers. Like, if I'm watching something and it seems like the lines don't work, I'm always like, well, the actors are working with what they were given, like, unless it's like Curb where it's up to you to come up with your own lines.
Here's
right?
the problem though, is that nobody takes the time to look up the writers' names afterwards, like who wrote that joke.
Yeah, so they get away with writing dog shit.
Yeah. I was thinking about the gay character thing, like where they need to make one that's like awesome. Remember Patton Oswalt has a joke about that where they always make the gay character like he's always very neat and composed and like very
stereotypical
stereotypical gay characters. Like he's like he wanted to play one that was like just dumb. It's like, I don't know, sweetie. I don't know. Just suck his cock or something.
Well, you know, what's her name? The show that Brian Posehn was on did that well. Comedian lady. She was hot back in the day.
Oh, Sarah Silverman.
The Sarah Silverman show had Brian Posehn and his and they
husband. Just acted like two dudes.
They were just kind of dumb dudes who just happened to like sucking dick. That was great.
You know what? That's funny. I never had that correlation, but maybe that was kind of a direct thing. Like,
I just think at some point someone recognizes like
Patton Oswalt put the idea out there.
Maybe, or maybe
I bet they thought of that when writing the show. Like, hey, remember that Patton joke? Maybe Patton Oswalt was part of the show.
Maybe he's in charge of all of this.
Maybe he's behind the conspiracy. He's Jewish, right?
I don't think so. Patton
really?
Oswalt's an Irish as fuck name.
Yeah, that's right. Patton.
Yeah.
No Jew. No,
the Irish are really the ones in charge. They're fucking using the Jews as patsies. As a Jew, I know this.
Patsies.
Dude, I want to make jokes about that so bad. Like, I went to synagogue as a kid, and I was like, literally, like, so my parents didn't raise me Jewish at first. And then when I was like maybe fucking 8 or 9, they sprang that shit on me. So like, I went to school with like just fucking these fucking waspy goys who were like always making Jew jokes about shit. And occasionally I would hear something about like, you know, like, well, Jews, you know, they I don't think like a little fucking first graders going, you know, the Jews are running everything. But like whatever a little kid hears from their parents, because it's always what they hear from their fucking parents. And like I would actually hear shit about like, you know, like, well, you know, the Jews, you know. And so then I had to go to synagogue, and I was like, well, at first I was like, this is fucking boring. And then eventually I was like, all right, so where's the part where we fucking run shit? Like, I kind of wanted to know the part where we fucking run shit. And surprise, it's all just a bunch of boring nonsense. Like,
right.
You know, and I wanted to know the part about like saving money or like getting into Hollywood or becoming a good lawyer or acting. I didn't hear any of that shit. I just heard about like how great God is. That's all I heard about. All throughout fucking having to go to synagogue, just how great God is and that the Bible is real, like, you know, or it's not, whatever. It doesn't matter because we don't have hell. So just do what you want, but it would be cool if you were kosher. Like, that's all I fucking, like, I didn't hear the secrets.
Yeah. You know, I think part of the whole thing is like, it's, speaking for the white Christian race over here.
You are a resident goy.
The main majority and founding building block of America. The white man. I'm just kidding, people.
We'll live on.
No, but I think that's what the fear is like the when you're in the big majority group, they don't know how to like. It seems like when you have to learn about Jewish traditions and you have to learn about Black culture and Latino culture, and
you're saying that the white race needs its own place to thrive and to grow.
You have to, I think,
and then they'll let other people go around them if they follow the white laws. You know?
Most of the time, it's seen as like I think the like white people see as well, Black people get shot, white people get shot. It's, you know, everyone gets shot by the cops these days.
Right. And so then the question becomes, how is any of this funny?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, because there's a joke there. There's a joke with everything, right? I mean, but like the
best idea is probably to get on stage and to think these thoughts out loud without any prep.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, the whatever the culture, the norm culture, whatever the fuck, is always going to have new people to hate, but like, it's just like the Jew hate's been there forever. Right. So I just think that and that goes back to the beginning of there being Jews, but like even like the what's it? The Protocols of the Elders of Zion, which was a forgery, by the way. And I had a joke. Right. I thought about like a joke about that. Like, basically like I think it was like the Tsar of Russia, like wanted to like kind of like stir up some hate against the Jews. So he ordered his people to like come up with something. And they found some document that was like from some fucking, you know, other country about some other niche group of people. And they like forged it and made it about the Jews and like mass produced it, and it really caught on like wildfire. And as a Jew, I really like can appreciate the you know, the thriftiness behind that, you know. but
so it's propaganda, those
that's all
fake news kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's been around forever. But I just feel like there's something funny about like.
So you're saying that the Jews didn't start fake news, but it was actually used against them.
Dude, I mean, like, it's just
Starting
people are people, and there's some shitty people in every group of people, you know?
But like, think of it like this: if you're hanging out with a group of people, there's one weirdo, quote unquote, who like does things a different way. Like most people don't understand that, so
yeah.
they don't take the time to really learn what it's about. So if you don't understand it, what do you do with things you don't understand?
I hate them.
You hate them.
I hate them.
You fear them, and that fear turns to hate.
Yeah.
The hate turns to laughs on stage.
Yeah, if you can do it right.
No, I don't know.
I
was trying to bring it back to comedy.
Yeah, I did
podcast.
try. This kind of worked where I said something about like, I'm trying stand-up comedy because I'm Jewish, but I wasn't smart enough to be a lawyer or a doctor. So, comedy.
Sometimes I think though, like my ideas might be funny. Just like go up there and just really actually talk about how I feel about things. Because I'll tell my parents some things and they'll just start laughing. I'm like, wait, I'm telling you like what I really believe in. Like,
are they? Sometimes I tell people my heartfelt.
This is what people do when like this is why people get fired, because if this happens, then you don't take a vacation. They just start laughing like you have no idea what you're talking about. Like, yeah,
they're laughing with me, Michael.
Yeah.
They're laughing with me.
So that's another approach. So you have the anger approach. You have the just go up there and say your feelings approach.
Yeah, I have been. I think like a couple podcasts ago, you were asking me like, because I said my family's like so crazy, and you were like, how so? Yeah. And I was like, dude, fucking, it's just hard to even. But like, I decided to like just kind of like tone it back a little bit from the actual level of crazy, and just kind of like just start with like kind of more simple stuff like, oh hi doggy,
the old hi doggy story. Hey doggy.
Yeah, like I don't know. I've been talking on stage a little bit about like, planning a wedding. So my family, my family, like isn't helping, and her family can't really help us out too much. So our wedding is going to be in Ocala, because that's like a place where we can afford to have it.
All right, Maury, you gotta think. That joke's not going to land when you're in New York or in Boston.
Well, I'm not quite in New York or Boston yet. But I had a little act out about like Ocala being a place where unsolved mysteries like doesn't go because they don't want to. And like they keep getting calls and I had a little impression, but it was essentially like unsolved mysteries, what's your mystery? And then it's just like a guy who hunted gator eggs for a living.
What's the Ocala zip? You gotta find their area code.
I should.
Like when they call in unsolved mysteries, like, wait a second, this is 863. We know where you're from.
The joke.
Don't call from Ocala.
The joke ended with like, it was a black guy who was dating a white woman, and like he was last seen talking to the cops, and now he's missing. Sir, that's not a mystery. That's a hate crime. I'm pretty sure those are legal there. Anyway,
mystery solved.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the gay thing, the gay agenda.
Oh, yeah.
I was just thinking also like it kind of sucks that like Marvel is like now putting LGBTQ characters in their movies, and they're like, like having like more female and black characters in their movies, and now their movies suck, which is a coincidence, right? Like,
right.
It's a coincidence that their movies suck. Their movie, like what was that one? The Eternals was garbage. It was not garbage because one of the characters was deaf and one of the characters was gay. It was garbage, and one of the characters was gay, and one of the characters
Pakistani.
was deaf. Yeah, and Pakistani, and way too muscular for my taste.
But hey, a comedian, Kamal Najahani.
Another reason why the movie sucked. But no, no, but like you know what I mean. Like the movie sucked, independent of it having marginalized characters. But every time I've told a friend like that movie sucked, they're like, "Oh, you're one of those people who didn't like it because it had marginalized characters." I'm like, "No, I thought maybe that was gonna give the movie like hope." Yeah. And it sucked independently of that. And I feel like it's a conspiracy of Hollywood. They're like, we're going to make people keep hating these fucking people. We're going to, we're not going to put a gay person in Iron Man. No way. We are going to put a gay person in our worst fucking movie.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It was
like, we can't make the good guys gay or black. Like,
well, but now they are in movies that suck. Like, the good guys are gay, black, female, whatever. In movies that suck,
good character is a black or gay character?
I guess the Falcon was a black character who was pretty good.
Was that a good character?
Again, like, debatable. He was all right.
Okay, but let's say you're going Christmas shopping for your son one day.
Right.
You're going to give him a Captain Falcon character?
Probably not.
No. You're going to give him Iron Man.
Well, if
Hulk,
I had an adopted son who was black,
Captain
I would
America.
probably get him the Falcon.
Okay. Do you remember The Office? When Toby wants to buy that doll for his daughter,
maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen every episode of The Office. But what's the...
He's trying to buy this special doll, and it's like he outbids Daryl for it, who's the black guy in the office.
Yeah.
And he's like, I really need this, man. He's like, okay, you can have it. He's like, oh, yes. All right, here, $400. And he gets it. It's the black version of the doll. He's like, and he goes, Toby's like, it's better, even better than the one I wanted.
That's great.
I just thought of that because of the story you had just told.
That's relevant. That's The Office recognizing that predicament.
That exists.
And then Marvel saw that and went, we're going to make our movies that way.
Yeah, make like trick you and be like, oh, ooh, didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Oh, but you can't say you don't like the movie because it's got marginalized characters.
But my point was like the main characters are still did the thing where it's like the main characters are, the quarterback's still a white guy.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Going back to football.
Yep.
It's like the coach, quarterback are the white guys, and then the rest of the guys. You can throw your black guys as running backs. And
that's kind of, dude, like this whole conversation could be like a whole fucking bit filled with callbacks to football. Like you think that you're off. Like you ever watch like a comedian and you're like, oh, well that last bit was cool. And it turns out they're still in it.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
That happens often.
Maybe that could be my thing. I'll be the football comedian.
Yeah.
Kind of like Coach McGurk was the soccer coach comedian. I'll be the football guy.
Armchair quarterbacks.
Armchair quarterbacks.
Now your life's complete.
Wow, I can't believe you remember that. That's a callback to a Rip Torn song.
We want more. Isn't it only like a minute and a half or something? Or like 2.5
It was like a minute 30
it's
or 2
really
minutes 30.
short.
Yeah,
I remember it being a
shortest
really...
Rip Torn song.
Yeah, I remember it being pretty involved, but it was just a fast little thrasher. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it was so like lyrics on lyrics on lyrics. And then chorus, lyrics, chorus, little solo, end.
Yeah. I remember
it.
when after I had left the band, you guys were playing live in a house somewhere, and I jumped on and did just the vocals for that one.
Yeah,
with you guys. That was fun.
We used that footage.
Well, yeah, you made a music video.
Yeah,
and you used footage of a different song, but you did have me moshing.
It was We Want More.
Was it We Want? Yeah. But it had me moshing. I remember I was moshing.
I used the song.
I was so drunk I was like moshing alone. Because I remember thinking oh, that was fun. We were moshing in a house. And the footage is just like people in a house watching and then me just running around. We had a great mosh pit. Oh, did we? Yeah.
Oh, man. Mario, I got something to say.
Oh, yeah? What do you have to say?
Nothing. You told me to say that. Remember?
Oh, I was supposed to say that before I went on my rant about that 90s show.
Okay, so this is the note in the show to put in the note of I got something to say.
I got something to say.
Well, yeah, so that'll just come after every time we say it. So like if you were to say I've got something to say,
I got something to say.
It's going to be there.
Like if I said it right now, I've got something to say.
I got something to say.
And those listening have just heard it a bunch of times.
Oh man, we need to get like one of those things where like you hit a button and plays the soundboard.
Yeah, I'm working on it. That's the right now I have a reverse engineered soundboard where the sounds go in later. So those listening don't know that. Those listening just hear the sounds.
Oh, what about
But
I guess I revealed it. You can cut that then.
Okay.
Are we gonna do our? Do we ever talk about other podcasts on here? Are we allowed to?
What do you
think?
mean?
I was just thinking about Your Mom's House podcast. They recently had they
So
came up with the best sound clip ever recently. So check that out.
okay, I will check that out. I do remember us on the way back from our Ebor hang. I had Legion of Skanks playing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we were cracking up at that. Shout out to those
I need
guys.
to get into that one too. That one's pretty good.
I was gonna bring it up, but I think it's actually too late.
I got something to say.
They're actually doing a battle of the bands, and I was gonna say there's no way Rip Torn would win because I think you have to be a current band. But I was thinking like just the name alone might get recognized, and I think they might have already closed out the contest. But like if not, I think because it's going to like March. Like if it's not closed out already, we should submit Rip Torn to the Legion of Skanks Badass Battle of the Bands. Just to get like, it would be so cool to hear them even just be like, there's a band called Rip Torn, they suck, and then just move on. Because remember when we were on 98 Rock?
Yeah, man, I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
You tell the story, because that was like right when I joined.
Yeah. Well, Keenan he has a contact in 98 Rock. Like he had known somebody, one of the DJs, got their email, like, was actually kind of friends with him. I think he's still friends with Big Rig.
Really?
Was one of the guys. I think it was
Keenan?
Big Rig. Yeah.
Whose hips are actually a little rig. He's got metal hips.
Why you gotta go there, man?
Because I heard the word rig, I thought got a reference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was terrible, Mario. Terrible. Anyway, our old pal Keenan was friends with someone at the radio station, so he has a contact of some way to. How do you submit to get your stuff on the radio?
Did they have a segment?
They had a segment, yeah. Do you remember what it was called?
I don't, because I fucking hate like Bubba the Love Sponge.
It's something like local band,
fucking all those fucking guys.
Some segment where they play local stuff, and you can actually find the sound clip of the segment on SoundCloud. If
That's
you
awesome.
listen to that. So it's Bubba Love Sponge, like, okay, we got some band here, Rip Torn from Tampa, like.
I think it was
put
like,
in, there's like, oh, it's the yelling stuff. I hate the yelling stuff. Don't you hate the yelling
what
stuff?
did they say? Like they sound like a bunch of like 100-pound losers or 100-pound weirdos or something.
Oh yeah, like oh, these guys, they want to sound tough. They're probably like 100-pound losers. I'm like, oh, thank you, Bubba.
I think I remember like you writing on Facebook like that was a compliment or something.
So I sounded skinny, huh? Good.
But yeah, that was like classic. Like as soon as the screaming vocals came in, they just couldn't even wrap their minds around it.
Kind of makes me think though about like that's in your youth, you have that energy and you have like to really like, you know, you try to make things happen, get your thing on the radio, go do this battle of the bands. Like all the first time these things happen, they seem so like important or critical. But now looking back on them, there's like little blips that are just like, that was kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, that is the way that the sands of time pass you by.
Well, I don't know. I guess they seem like bigger steps back then. Like we were on the radio, man. Holy shit. We were on the radio.
Yeah, that's true.
Big things coming.
The thing for me, I forget where I was talking about this. Like I was talking to someone about this recently. Like the thing for me used to be that like I kind of entered the like workforce kind of at a bit of an earlier age, like, and not because I was like smart or anything, just whatever, just because I did. So for like most of my 20s, not all, but like for the first maybe let's say 7 years of my 20s, I consistently got compliments at work about how young I was doing whatever it is I do for work, right? And like and I didn't realize how much I fucking loved that shit, dude. Because like it would be like I'd be doing like mediocre work, but like someone would be like, "Oh, you're 23? Wow, I didn't start working here until I was 40." And like somewhere around age 28, I stopped getting compliments for how young I was for doing average work. and I still have that thought of like someone's gonna be like, "Oh, you're only 33," but no, I'm not only 33. I am 33, which fucking sucks.
33?
I'm 33.
Wow.
33.
I am not 33.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a similar experience with not being able to grow facial hair for a long time. So like I always had a baby face, quote unquote. A funny story is on a cruise, it was with my friends and like my dad and their dads. Like it was like a Boy Scout cruise, to be honest. It was, I know. It sounds really gay now looking back on it.
It sure does.
So my Boy Scout cruise, anyway.
All dudes on a boat.
It was all dudes. Sadly, Boy Scouts in America is all dudes. And the rest of the world, co-ed. Although now Boy Scouts is just Scouts in America.
That's way better.
So, but
you
anyway,
know who that's better for? The Scout leaders.
Yeah, options, right? Oh God,
it's better for the dads. Anyway, speaking of, so you were on a boat with your dad, with a bunch of you and your dad were on a boat with a bunch of boys. And
why was this brought up? I don't remember anymore.
I don't know. You just started reliving it. It was weird. Now, something about facial hair. Something about being complimented for your facial hair when you were a boy.
Went on a Mexican cruise. So in Mexico, you can drink, right? Because like their laws are, you're like 18 or whatever. And we were like 16, 15 kind of.
Nice.
So, one guy, oh man, we got a beer, guys. Look, I just want to give me a beer, man. Okay, all right, let me try. I go up to the bar. Let me get a beer. And like, guy laughs. What are you, 12? What are you, 12? I'm like, oh my God, I was devastated. And I've always had that, like, looked way younger.
Well, because when you're younger, you want to be thought of as older. And when you're older, you want to be thought of as younger, right?
I definitely had a baby face, though. That was like the one thing I always had going for me. It was like, okay, I'm fat, whatever, not smooth with the ladies.
But my face, super smooth.
But I look young.
You grew a good goatee,
so
though.
People would always be like, "Oh, you're really that old? Whoa, wow, that's crazy." But then at a certain point, the goatee came in, and then nobody gave a shit anymore. And it was like, you're just old meat.
You're just old and disgusting.
Sitting on this shelf. No, I don't want that old meat.
The pedos don't want to play with me anymore.
Yeah.
So on that note, we're like
what a great note to end on.
We're a little over an hour in, so
we have to do some editing here to bring this baby down to an hour.
I think we've got some things we can edit, and if you're listening to this, you're listening to the stuff that we decide to keep in. So
yeah, hopefully we'll keep in a lot of the comedy stuff and the metal stuff because that's what we're about, baby.
Yeah,
comedy.
We're about comedy, which is metal,
which is comedy, which is metal.
Thanks, folks. If you made it to the end, please leave a comment. Doesn't have to be nice. Just say something.
Just say something. Oh, God.
Drop a like. Share with your friends on the social.
And your moms.
Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe, like.
Email. Tweet.
Twitter.
Mentions. Slide in our DMs.
And share it.
I've heard that recently.
Slide in my DM, then share in your dick pics.
Hell yeah.
Richard Nixon pictures, of course. Picture of Richard Nixon.
Or Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney.
Both acceptable.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks very much, Brad. Let's go do something. Let's go party.
All right.
I say when we're really both about to go to bed. All right.
Together.
All right. I have to go see Colin Terrell in a little bit. Well, next podcast, I'll tell you how it went.
All right. Bye. Comedy.
You know what I'm saying?